Yo, it's your boy Smoke Bath and Madden video and an NFL related video. Today's video we'll be going over the after the week 3 power rankings. So week 3 is now officially done, and a lot of entertaining things have happened. Obviously, the Lions just took down the Baltimore Ravens in Monday night, but I just wanted to go over everything we do for the power rankings. So obviously injuries impacted the way the team has performed, the performance, the coaching, the scheduling, record against division, strength of schedule, all that fun stuff. Anyway, number 32 is still the New Orleans Saints, have not moved a spot. They did just lose 44-7 against the Seattle Seahawks. So yeah, definitely not going up. 31, it's going to be the Tennessee Titans. They're moving back 5 spots. The run defense got absolutely exposed by the Indianapolis Colts. It was horrible. 30 is the Miami Dolphins. Even though they did lose, they're going to go up 1 spot. They played kind of solid against the Bills. Tua didn't throw the ball deep, like, at all. But, I mean, he wasn't horrible, and Devon Achane wasn't horrible either. 29 is going to be the New York Jets, and the Justin Fields injury is some of the reason. I mean, they haven't won a single game anyway, so they are 0-3 to start the year, but they're also moving back 4 spots because Justin Fields' injury, and it's now lingering into 2 weeks, might be possibly 3. Who knows? Hopefully not too much longer for the New York Jets, as they are wishing for Justin Fields to have a speedy recovery, but still looking for their first win so far this year. At 28, we have the Las Vegas Raiders, and that was a really rough game against the Washington Commanders. I think the final score was like 41-24. It was just bad all around for the Raiders. Geno Smith looked better than what he did against the Chargers, but still, they need offensive line help, and Ashton Jetty's got to figure it out at some point. Just not that great of a game for the Raiders at all. 27, I got the New York Giants. They are still yet to win a game. They are going to go up, though, because they did face a talented roster of the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was close until around the middle of the third quarter. So, yeah, that's pretty impressive for the Giants. They are going to go up 1. They still haven't got a single win yet, so if they don't win next week, they're going to have to move back, obviously. But just the way they have performed, it's been slightly more impressive than the Raiders, even though the Raiders do have a win. 26, Carolina Panthers, they just had a 30-1 victory against the Atlanta Falcons. They're going to go up 3 spots. It would be more if they had a more talented roster, but if you looked at the game, it wasn't even really much of what the Panthers did. It's just what the Falcons couldn't do. The Falcons just played that bad, and Michael Penix was pretty rough. That's honestly a little scary if you're a Falcons fan. 25, the Cleveland Browns. They're going to go up 5 spots because they beat the Green Bay Packers. Was it an absolutely sloppy performance from both teams? Yes, but the Cleveland Browns beating one of the best teams in the league, I mean, they got to go up at least 5 spots. I got to give them credit where credit is due. 24, the Dallas Cowboys. Not only did they lose to the Bears, they are going to be losing CeeDee Lamb, their superstar receiver, for a minimum of 3 weeks as he has a high ankle sprain, and that is just the absolute worst news. Trevon Diggs has been looking pretty bad so far this year, and you lost Micah Parsons, obviously, before the season started. So another superstar in CeeDee Lamb not being on your roster, at least for the next 3 weeks, just another huge thing that Dallas does not want. And 23, another team that's dropping back from injuries. Cincinnati Bengals, obviously the Joe Burrow injury. They got a loss in general, but still, the Joe Burrow injury is mainly putting them back. And Jake Browning just absolutely did horrible. And obviously the Minnesota Vikings just absolutely had a field day with the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, the Vikings had 2 defensive touchdowns and 2 interceptions in general. 22, the Houston Texans, they're actually not going back for injury reasons at all. They are going back for straight performance. They are 0-3 to start this year. They need to move back 7 spots. I'm sorry. Absolutely another horrible offensive performance from the Houston Texans. I don't know what is going on from CJ Stroud. I didn't think he would be this bad at the beginning of the year. I actually stuck up for him quite a bit anytime there was debates about him. But yeah, this is not looking good for CJ Stroud at all. And I was going to have the New England Patriots just stay where they were because they did lose, but it was close. But since those other teams suffered so much injuries, the Patriots got bumped up a spot, even though they did lose. 20, the Arizona Cardinals are going to go up one spot as well, just because there were so many teams that had injuries. I just simply had to put them down there. Like, those were major injuries that the Cowboys and the Bengals faced. I mean, they got to suffer from the power rankings, unfortunately. So Arizona Cardinals are going up as well, even though they did just lose against the 49ers. 19, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to go up 5 spots, and they're performing a lot better than I thought I would. I mean, the Jaguars are 2-1 to start the year. The only loss they have is against the Bengals, and somehow that is when they faced Jake Browning for like half of the game. So, yeah, but still, Jaguars are doing pretty good. 18 is going to be the Chicago Bears. I mean, they have a more talented roster than the Jacksonville Jaguars, but record-wise, it hasn't really quite evened out yet. But I will say, the most previous game, Caleb Williams absolutely balled out. So that is some of the reason why they're up. Caleb Williams with Rome Odunze, they even were able to establish enough to run a trick play to Luther Burden Jr. Or Luther Burden III, I guess. But anyway, that was still pretty impressive. 17 is going to be the Atlanta Falcons after they just got blown out by a divisional rival 30-0. As I mentioned previously, yeah, the Falcons were really rough that game, and they should honestly be grateful they're only going down 4 spots because it easily could be more. 16, I got the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to go up 4 spots after they get a pretty demanding win against the Saints. I really can't put them up much more because it was against the Saints. Pretty easy team to beat, but still 44-7. I mean, oh my God, that was an absolute slaughter. 15 is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to go up 1 spot as they win in a close one against the New England Patriots. 14, the Denver Broncos move back 4 spots. I don't know why the Broncos have really started the season really lackluster, to say so, but I mean, they started out looking horrible. It was a 1-possession game against the Los Angeles Chargers. It was a very close game. So you really can't rip on the Broncos too much. I mean, they held it in there with the Chargers for very long, but just weren't able to come away with the win, unfortunately, for Broncos fans. Number 13 is going to be the San Francisco 49ers, and they're somehow undefeated, even though they've had Mac Jones playing the last 2 weeks. So Mac Jones actually not even been doing that bad if you look at his numbers. So yeah, Mac Jones and the 49ers are 3-0, and they don't even have George Kittle. Number 12 is going to be the Minnesota Vikings. They're going up a lot, even though J.J. McCarthy injury. Carson Wentz looked good, so that is the reason why they're going up. And obviously, the main reason why they're going up is that defense. Like I said, the defense was absolutely amazing. They had 2 defensive touchdowns and 2 interceptions. It was just amazing. It was mainly Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers had the 2 defensive touchdowns just by himself. 11 is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. Indiana Jones is a real theory. It's Daniel Jones just being in Indianapolis, playing there. He is a new man, and he is playing absolutely amazing. And at first, I really didn't buy it, but I'm slowly starting to buy into the hype as the Colts are just keep staying hot. Even though Daniel Jones didn't do a whole lot in the previous game against the Titans, he still did solid. It was mainly Jonathan Taylor, though. Number 10, I got the Los Angeles Rams. They barely lost to the Eagles. It was a very close game. You really can't quite fault them. The special teams coordinator might need to get fired, though, because they had 2 blocked field goals, which was pretty atrocious, if you ask me. But then after the Rams, I got the Commanders, and you got to give the Commanders some props. I mean, they were facing an easy team, but 41-24, that is a pretty demanding win. Number 8, I got the Los Angeles Chargers, and they are a very good team. I believe they are like up top of the AFC West. Yeah, they are up top of the AFC West. So number 1 in the AFC West right now. They keep racking up division wins, which is the best case scenario for the Chargers. They already got one against the Raiders, they got one against the Broncos, and they already had one against the Chiefs. So very good for the Chargers, a well-coached team. Only reason they're not going up anymore is because the Najee Harris injury. He's gone for the year. I don't think it will affect them too much because I do think Amarian Hampton was the better back or had potential to be the better back since he was a rookie. He didn't get a whole lot of opportunities yet, but still. Number 7, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. They're still facing the Rashee Rice suspension, Xavier Worthy injury. Travis Kelce is nothing special anymore. I mean, he's still good, but he's not like the most feared tight end like he used to be. And they barely squeaked out a win against the Giants. I mean, they're just staying at 7. They should be happy that they're even top 7, if I'm being honest. Number 6, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They barely squeaked out a win against the Jets. That was a pretty odd game. And Mike Evans is injured. We don't know for how long quite yet. If it is long term, I might need to bump the Buccaneers down more. 5, Green Bay Packers. They are moving back 2 spots, and that is definitely fair as they lost to the Cleveland Browns of all teams. Oh my God. Zach Tom and Aaron Banks were banged up though, and it definitely showed as Jordan Love had pressure on him like all day. Anyway, number 4, we have the Baltimore Ravens, and yes, I know Derrick Henry is having struggles. 3 games, 3 straight fumbles. I promise I'm not a Ravens fan. I know a lot of people probably think I'm a Ravens fan, but you got to think the roster is bailing them out. When you hear these names together, they are elite names. When you hear Lamar Jackson, that's an elite name. When you hear Derrick Henry, that's an elite name. When you hear Zay Flowers, that's an elite name. When you hear Mark Andrews, even, that's an elite name still, even though he is slightly washed, kind of like Travis Kelce. So, a very explosive offense. Kyle Hamilton is an elite name. You understand, or Kyle Van Noy is an elite name as well. So, yes, the roster is keeping them in the top 4. I'm not saying easily. I'm not saying easily at all. If they lose next week, they're getting bumped out of the top 4. Trust me. Number 3, I have the Detroit Lions. That is very fair to do after they had just taken down the Baltimore Ravens. And I think they definitely got their swagger back. A lot of people are worried the first week, but I think the Lions are back for good. Number 2, I got the Buffalo Bills. They have been looking pretty good. Last week was a little sloppy because I don't know what it is about the Bills, but anytime they face an opponent that they know is worse than them, they don't play the greatest. I mean, they still won, so I'm not going to hate on them, but I'm just saying, I feel like if the Bills were actually trying as hard as they would normally be against like a competitive team, they would have won by like 20 points against the Dolphins. Number 1, Philadelphia Eagles, obviously, reigning Super Bowl champs, 3-0 start. Everything looked pretty good for them in that game against the Los Angeles Rams. It did take a little bit of a rally comeback and a little bit of luck, to be honest, to get that win off. But the Rams are a pretty competitive team, so you can't fault them for it being a close fight. And they got the win anyway, so who really cares at the end of the day? Anyway, those are the power rankings after week 3. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys enjoy NFL content, I highly, highly recommend you guys subscribe. Turn those post notifications on, as that is what we post on this channel. And we also post Madden 26 content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.